So during my last video, I said this: if they can integrate more narrative into these events, I'll be very excited for that, because that's my favorite part of this video game. No cap, 100%. Easiest thing I've ever said in my life. And I think there's a bit more potential for both the Red Room and Cosmic Cube themed events, because I think they will have more narrative to them. And I truly was excited for the Red Room event. I thought it was the perfect opportunity to integrate some narrative into these events, just like a little bit. Not a lot, I wasn't expecting that much, but some. And then the Red Room event comes out, and I see that, and I go to look at it, and it's exactly the same as Tachyon Anomaly, but with less interesting things. It's the exact same rewards, but you can't play as multiple characters. In fact, everyone's gonna want to play as Black Widow because she just got a sick new skin, and I understand that, but you know. So instead of helping matchmaking at all, this event actually hinders it, and it's just all around, like, fairly disappointing, to be honest with you. Like, I'd hoped for so much more, and it's not what it is, and it sucks. Straight up, it sucks. So there's not that much for me to say about the event itself. So instead, I'm going to use this opportunity to talk about the community and the vibe that I get from it, having posted a couple videos about the game at this point. And this translates over to Reddit as well, and what I've read online, just in different places, about people who are invested in this video game. And I don't want to use the term likes, and I don't want to use the term hates, because I think both types of people are actively invested in the game equally, and I understand that completely. I see lots of people post comments about how much they wish the game was better, and I see lots of people post about how shit the game is right now, and I see lots of people defending the game in its current state, and honestly, I see all sides of this. I can get behind every single point. I'm not saying everyone should conform to one state of belief, because then you don't have interesting conversation around the game, and that's really important for a game like this. My point entirely is that I think we could, you know, be a little better to one another, and that includes myself. My point entirely is, please discuss. Just discuss with one another about what you think the game is doing, and what you think it could be doing better, and what you think it's doing right, and, you know, hopefully we get an improved product at the end of the day. Because truthfully, I make these videos because I want nothing more than for the game to improve. Because I want what I know the game could be at the end of the day. And that's not to say that if you like it right now, you're wrong, because you're allowed to like it. I think it's got really good aspects, and I think the gameplay is actually pretty fun most of the time. But that's also not to say that if you dislike what the game is right now, you're wrong either. Because, again, there are issues with the game, and there are certain things that definitely need to be improved. And that's just from an objective standpoint, and you can see those things, and you cannot see those things, and again, all of that is fine. Just, you know, talk with one another, be honest with one another, and treat each other with a little bit of respect, maybe. You know, that's kind of fucking important here. I think it's really important that we take a step back, and we look at the game, and we be honest with ourselves about what it's doing right and what it isn't. I would personally love to see more diversity in the events. Please, for the love of God, make them a little more interesting, because two of the events being identical, just one almost being more watered down and less interesting, that's super unfortunate. I want to make very clear that there's a difference between having healthy conversation with community members about the game and aimlessly shitting on people because they find anything about the game, you know, redeeming, or that they recognize that the game has potential. Because I've gotten a lot of comments from people being like, fuck you, this game bad, and game always bad because game bad, now go fuck yourself. That's not the right way of looking at things, I'm sorry, it just isn't. And out of all of the sea of opinions that you could possibly pick to have about this game, that is the only one that I have to be like, what the fuck are you doing? That, and calling the developers lazy or stupid or attacking them in any way, really, all of that kind of falls under the same umbrella. I can't condone when people say, oh, this game is bad because the developers are lazy, because that doesn't make any goddamn sense. There were definitely some poor decisions made in the development of this game, but those decisions were not made by developers, and it's just like a little bit nitpicky, I guess, but you can't call the developers of the game stupid when the programmers were just doing what they were told, right? We can't exactly pinpoint where the bad decisions came from, and calling the developers as a whole incorrect or stupid or bad at their jobs is just wrong. It's a deeper issue than that, and you have to consider it as such when you're making these arguments. For example, saying that the game had some shitty decisions made during its development, that's fine. Saying that the devs are lazy and shitty at their jobs, that's not fine. I hope there's a clear difference there. But I'm also not going to argue with those people because I know that their minds are made up and that's okay. They can just move on, hopefully, and that's fine. And nothing lost, you know what I mean? Move on, it's cool. It's not for everyone and that's okay. I personally, obviously, fall on the side of this game has a whole bunch of potential and I would really love to see it grow into something beautiful because I know that it can. But will it? I have no idea. I just have to sit back and hope and, you know, try in my little way to get it there, I guess. In a lot of ways, it really does just make me sad to play sometimes because I'm like, man, there's so much here that could be better, and there's so much here that really could be incredible one day, and I don't know if it ever will be. And like, it just makes me feel a little somber and a little sad, but I gotta stay hopeful and I gotta really pray that this game picks up because, man, I would love for it to be good, man. I really would love nothing more than to see this game thrive, and one day we might get there. I find it very interesting that the Play Avengers subreddit did a poll and people think majority that the game is good. And the reason that I think this poll came out to a yes is because most people on that subreddit play the game. And you don't play a game because you hate it, right? That's weird. But I'm sure a lot of them don't think it's perfect. I think the poll was simply too black and white. It says that gun to head, you have to pick one. Is the game good or bad? But I really think that's an oversimplification, and most people would put that somewhere in the middle, obviously, because it's not just a good or a bad game. It's a game that you can have fun with that has potential to become a lot better. And I think that most of the community understands that and wants to see the game get to a place where it's amazing, and it's not there. And I think most people feel that way. But if you feel differently, please tell me why. I'd love to hear about it. Unless you're gonna say game bad because game bad. I don't want to fucking hear that. Keep that shit on my comments. Actually, go ahead and comment it. Even if you're gonna say game bad because game bad, put it in my comments. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get, okay? Now, while I have your attention, actually, I'd love to hear what you guys think about the content lately. Do you guys want to see anything specific? What do you guys want to hear me talk about related to Avengers video game? Let me know where you fall in the community of this game, what kind of side you're on. I don't want to make it a war. I think we should all, you know, acknowledge the flaws and the good parts of the game here. And I think we're all really just trying to make it a better product at the end of the day. But if you feel strongly in a different direction, please do tell me about it. Oh, and again, I've been blown away by the support on the recent stuff. It's been awesome. I very much appreciate you guys sticking around. It's really fucking cool. Yeah, thank you guys. It's awesome. I'm a little emotional about it, to be honest. It's kind of crazy for me. Thank you.